Let's start with ET now. Nikunj Dalmia. Nikunj, you can unmute yourself and switch on your camera.
Rajesh, Krith, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Rajesh, first my sincere compliments. I mean, TCS shareholders, I'm sure they're mighty excited under your tenure. The company has enjoyed great growth, great P multiples, and really became a formidable force to reckon with in the Indian IT space. But Rajesh, even though TCS has enjoyed a very stable quarter, it has a very stable leadership. The timing of your exit, Rajesh, is something which perhaps is making everybody slightly nervous. At a time when the IT sector is getting bulldozed and concerns are there in the US BFSI space, do you think this timing could have just waited?
Nikunj, if you look at it over the last 10 years, this is probably the most stable time that we have seen in many years. Think about the financial crisis, think about the pandemic, think about everything else that went on, the war that was started off last year. So this level of volatility, I would say, is par for the course. And yes, there will be some ups and downs. So that definitely is absolutely not a question. In fact, in times of crisis, we have always come together and absolutely stood together as a team. And then when I was reflecting in terms of what would be a good time, I felt that there's no better time than this. And also it was important to do this before the start of the new financial year so that the incoming CEO, in this case, Krithi, has that full runway to play with it. So from immediacy perspective, just before the start of the year so that the whole year can be owned. And from a slightly longer term perspective, we have brought the volatility of the pandemic to a fair state. We have registered very strong growth, first bouncing off the pandemic lows with 15%. And then over the last 9 months also, we have still grown at 14.8% and crossed big milestones. We crossed 7 billion and we are now at a run rate of 28 billion. So when you look forward, I don't think there is going to be another period where there will be significantly difference in that stability for it to be. So it goes back to that question that you asked it, why now? And I asked myself, if not now, will there be a better time? And the frank answer was, I couldn't think that there could be anything better. And therefore, it made most logical sense.
So Rajesh, the immediate follow-up question is, when did you inform Chandra? What was his first reaction? And how did it go through? And what is next for Rajesh Gopinathan now? Everybody's curious about that. So I'm blending two questions into one.
Yeah, in terms of, I've been having discussions with Chandra off and on. And of course, when there is an immediate problem, we always focus on that. But in moments of retrospection, I've always been telling him that, at some point I want to do it. And so that's been an ongoing dialogue. The immediate one was, of course, that, as I said, and I think this is the way it happens with everybody probably, that one day you get up and then you say that, okay, we have thought about it and spoken about it long enough. It is better to, pull the trigger, as it were. So that happened just a week or so ago. But it's a conversation that has been ongoing. What next is first, I have to make sure that the transition happens smoothly. And with Krithi being there, I don't think that is a challenge at all. But I owe it to all our customers, all our colleagues, our employees, and all stakeholders to make sure that I am there for whatever time that Krithi needs. And if nothing, it might be even symbolic. But I definitely have no plans to skimp on that and will be available to Krithi 100%, not just during this transition period, at any point in time in future. After that, I want to take some downtime and spend some time with family, sit back and then think, many ideas are there. But now that the trigger has been pulled, I need to start crystallizing what those are. And it would not have been appropriate for me to go down that path while I was doing something as important as this, and which required more than 100% of my attention all the time. So that's the plan. So probably we will get to catch up and have that cup of coffee that we have been always talking about. And I am looking forward to some downtime.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikunj. Thank you, Rajesh. Reema Tendulkar from CNBC. Reema.